That's it. Gotta find a different girl. There's nothing but me. It's just. I mean.
All right, I've got 6 o'clock, so I'll call this meeting to order. Let the minutes show that all the board members are present. And if we'd all stand, I'd lead us in an invocation, and then we'll follow that as we stand for the pledge of allegiance. God, just thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you for this great crowd of people that are passionate about our students and schools in our community. Just be with our students, teachers, administrators, as we end this year, that we end the year strong. Please be with us tonight as we make decisions. Just grant us wisdom. You soon we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board members, you received the agenda for the meeting. May I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
A second? All those in favor of approving the agenda, please raise your hand.
All right, thank you, Mr. Holland. First off, what a great crowd we have tonight. I'm so thankful that we have so many people coming out tonight. We have a lot of great things we're going to recognize throughout the board meeting tonight. Our first item is to receive this information. I'd like to ask our district nurse, Ms. Jeannie Coker, and Ms. Meg Spires with Travel Baptist Hospital for a special recognition.
Good evening. I just want to say thank y'all so much for allowing us to be here. We are so grateful for Sarah Melissa's family for allowing us to honor her tonight. She was very special to us. And her probably her family loved her and appreciated her so much. And I'm so thankful for Meg Spires and her leadership and helping us put everything together. And so that we could recognize her and give her that honor that she so deserved. Her children came to her just confidently. They trusted her and they walked away feeling better just because of Sarah's presence. She was calm and just kind and gracious in all that she did. So I'm going to turn this over to Meg as she has put together a very precious award just for Sarah and her family.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Meg Spires. I'm the chief nurse at Prattville Baptist Hospital, and I have with me Erica Kirkley, our director of nursing. I want to say first and foremost, thank you for letting us be here. I really appreciate the partnership between Board of Education and Prattville Baptist Hospital. And we were very honored to be able to help the Autauga County school nurses to be able to honor their nurse in such a special way. So one way, a national way, it's a national award that nurses are honored is the DAISY Award. The DAISY Foundation is someone that we partner with, and they were created in 1999 after a gentleman named Patrick Barnes died. He was 33 years old, and he had a disease that affected his immune system. Well, his family wanted to do something to honor the very special man that he was, and so they created this DAISY Foundation. Then it says they were sitting around drinking some liquid courage, and they were trying to figure out what that the foundation was going to do, like what its purpose was going to be. And they kept coming back to the fact that nurses and caregivers were such Baptist Hospital and the Autauga County School Nurses, we are incredibly honored to present this award to her family tonight. So I did not have the pleasure of knowing her, but I got Ms. Coker to get several of the school nurses, the faculty and staff at Prattville Junior High School, just to send me some blurbs, information about her. And I really hate that I didn't have the joy and the privilege of knowing her, because she sounded like such a sweet and wonderful, kind, compassionate person. So I took all of those emails that we got and kind of composed them to do the tribute that we have to actually send in for the national award. So I just want to read that to you real quick. It says, Melissa never ceases to amaze team members with her unwavering commitment to her patients and team members, patients, i.e. students in this case. She approached every task, whether routine or in times of crisis, with a calm demeanor that brought a sense of tranquility to even the most chaotic situations. Her ability to bring order amidst chaos was truly remarkable. One of the many remarkable qualities that defined Melissa was her ability to make everyone around her feel safe and valued. Her presence brought comfort to her patients and her fellow team members, and they thoroughly enjoyed working alongside her. Melissa's infectious smile and positive attitude were a constant source of joy and inspiration to all who had the privilege of knowing her. She was, without a doubt, a team player. She never hesitated to go the extra mile to support her team members and ensure the best possible care for her patients. Her dedication to the profession of nursing and her unwavering commitment to excellence were evidenced in every interaction that she had. Beyond her professional accomplishment, she was a dedicated mother to her beloved son, Grayson. Her love for Grayson knew no bounds, and she spoke of him fondly very often. She shared stories, and she proudly displayed pictures and notes from him in the nurse's office at Prattville Junior High. The joy that radiated from Melissa when she spoke of her son was truly heartwarming. Melissa's compassion as a caregiver touched countless lives, and her love for her son was the driving force for her unwavering dedication. She truly exemplified what it means to be a selfless and compassionate nurse, a true servant. Her impact will continue to be felt for years to come. As we honor her tonight with the Daisy Award for Nursing, we invite you to join us in celebrating her outstanding legacy. The impact that she made in the lives of her patients, students, team members, and her beloved Grayson is immeasurable. We are immensely proud of her and the legacy that she has left behind. Please join us in commemorating her remarkable achievements and the immense love she had for her family and the profession of nursing. We are grateful for the opportunity to honor her memory and the lasting impact that she made on the lives of others. At this time, we have a few items to present for the award to her parents. Mr. and Mrs. Bishop, if you mind coming up, please? So we have a certificate. This is the Daisy Award for Extraordinary Nurses. This award is presented to Melissa Banks in deep appreciation for all you do, all you are, and the incredibly meaningful difference that you make in the lives of so many people. So we're going to give you that. Then, nurses love to wear pins, not so much now as they used to when I first went to nursing school, about way too many years ago to talk about, but wearing a pin was a sign, you got to show if you were certified in something. And so Daisy gives pins, and so we're going to give Grayson a pin, and maybe one day he can wear it on the wire or something. So he gets a Daisy pin, and then this is probably my favorite part. This is a Healing Touch sculpture. These are hand carved in Zimbabwe, and Daisy is proud of buying them from Zimbabwe because I don't know if everybody knows, but the economy in Zimbabwe is very, very low. And the purchase of these sculptures help people live there and stay there. But this represents the Healer's Touch Nurses Care part of our agreement and contract with them. I didn't wanna bring cinnamon rolls tonight, so I have a bag of nothing but cakes, cinnamon cakes, a bag for y'all to take home, and a bag for the board, to eat. And their challenge is that every time that you smell cinnamon, that you remember the kind, compassionate nurses. And I'm gonna challenge you to please think about Melissa every time that you smell cinnamon at home. And we're gonna keep y'all in our prayers. Thank you. Thank you so much.
On behalf of the Talk County Board of Education, I want to thank the Bishop and family for being here. I'm talking to Mr. Jackson numerous times, Proud Junior High, and the impact that your daughter had on that campus is immeasurable, and we appreciate her contributions, appreciate her support for us, and we hope that she sees we're here for you guys as well. I also want to thank Prattville Baptist and all of our nurses here today. Guys, education takes a village. We all gotta work together, and the partnership that Ms. Spires touched on, it's not just words. And I hope everybody sees that we support each other. Our thoughts and prayers with your family, and we appreciate all that you guys do as well. So if you don't mind, let's give the family a hand. The next item for received information, we are going to recognize a few of our outstanding students that have done tremendous feats all across the county. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Dunn and Mr. Redmond to come forward and recognize students that are going to participate in the ELO program. Mr. Dunn?
I'm actually gonna jump in for
Hey,
just a
hey.
second.
Hey.
I'm Holly McNider, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Past 2 years, I've had the privilege of serving in the role, serving our students from kindergarten to 12th grade. And I'm so honored tonight, one of the best parts of my job is being able to find bridges between the elementary world and the secondary world. And without a doubt, the experiences I've had in the past 2 years as on the secondary side will make me such a better elementary leader. And this is one of these moments. So a couple months ago, you guys approved for us to implement a new board policy addressing extended learning opportunities. So I'm so proud tonight to recognize these students, and I'm gonna turn it over to the ACTC, but I do wanna publicly thank you guys for when we came to you with this idea, just running with it, because this is just a glimpse of what we think this program will be able to. This is our first summer, but I'm excited for you to hear about what's about to happen. Mr. Dunn.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you guys about, our creative ways of providing education. That's one of the things that we think is our strongest suit at the Technology Center, is the fact that we have so many different ways that we can reach kids and to provide them with a menial experience in the education field and a real world experience. When the board provided us the opportunity to provide the ELO for students, Ms. Rader took that task and ran with it. And so the application's been approved, and so this is going to be our first of many, we hope, of students that are participating in this activity. Just to tell you a little bit about the activity, basically the ELO is an extended learning opportunity for students that are going to be participating in things that are class related but are taking place outside of the classroom. So they're going to be working in the summer with some of our youth in our school system, our children, in their summer programs, and they're gonna be earning credits in order to do that. So we're excited to be able to kick this off and have the first group of kids actually participate in this. So I'm gonna ask Ms. Rader to come up and introduce the first group of students participating in the Ottumwa County ELO. Ms. Rader?
Thank you, board. Mr. Bishop, I've known for a long time. Thank you for putting us in this awesome opportunity. And thank you, Mr. Woodson. We appreciate it so much. Guys, I am here and I am humbled and honored to present to you 7 students from Marbury High School and from Prattville High School who are dedicating their Monday through Thursday for the entire month of June from 7:45 in the morning till 12:30. They gotta get up early. But for that time, for the entire month of June, to work with our students and our youth. Selflessly, they are pouring into them. They've been with me for a solid year. Mr. Malachi's been here with me for 2 years, going on his 3rd next year. And so they are working towards the teaching profession. They love everything about children, about watching them develop and grow. We've had an awesome opportunity, and when the opportunity came and Ms. McNider presented it to me, I put it out to him. I said, anybody willing to give up June to work with students at elementary school, primary school, and at high level? These 7 jumped on the opportunity, and there's no payment for this program. They do receive a credit, a high school credit, an enrichment credit going towards graduation, and they'll have 70 hours basically of community service that they can use towards college scholarships and things that can further their education. So I'm super proud of them and honored to be their teacher, and hopefully they will all be with me for 2 more years, 3 years, whatever the case may be, to work towards their teaching degree. So first I want to recognize, we've got from Marbury High School, we have Melanie Purdue here on the end. And we have Lauren Boyd and Madison Shumway. Those are our 3 from, they're going to be working at high level. And my next 4 are from Prattville High School, and so we have Isabella Goodwin, and then we have Lily McKinnon, and Kai Smith Minor, and Mr. Malachi Asbury. So I am so honored to be with them. They show so much vision, and they show so much fortitude to work with the kids, even in the summer of June. So there's not many high school students that can do that. So thank y'all so much, and thanks for providing this opportunity for us.
Well, guys, on behalf of the board, first off, I look forward to being able to hire you guys to go to education very soon. We believe firmly in trying to grow our own, and I'm looking forward to about 4 or 5 years. 5? Is that right? 5 years? 6 maybe? So thank y'all for giving up your June and working with our kids. Ms. Rader, on a personal note, I'd love to know how many kids are going into education because of your efforts. That number is astronomical, and we appreciate what you do. You're making a difference for our community, and we appreciate it. And Mr. Gunn, I appreciate you being a fierce advocate for your school. You know, you've heard me preach to principals a lot in our principal meetings. You should be advocating for your schools. You need to let us know what you need. And this is something Mr. Dunn came to us very early on, and I appreciate you staying persistent on what you need for your campus students. We're all very proud of you. Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Our next group we will recognize are High School Show Choir, recently competed in Fame National in Branson, Missouri. At this time, I'd like to ask the director of the board to come forward and recognize this tremendous accomplishment. They're coming with the trophy. That's always a good sign. Several. I said 8. There's all 6 of them.
Good evening. My name is Dr. McCormick. I'm the proud director of Floral Activities at Prattville High School. I'd first like to thank the Ottumwa Board of Education, Mr. Woodfin, Dr. Ferris, and the entire administration at Prattville High School for their support. And most importantly, I'd like to thank all the families of these wonderful students that stand before you tonight. Without them, none of this would be possible, so let's give them a round of applause. This process started over the summer with hard training, running, burpees, push-ups, to build endurance. Show choir is a sport. It incorporates choreography, which is dancing and singing, while having to remember blocking, while wearing costumes, while under the bright lights of the stage. So it is a multifaceted opportunity for these students at Prattville High School to participate in each year. This group before you has traveled over 2,000 miles this year. We started off our season in Albertville, Alabama, where we won the Small Mix Grand Championship, which is the clear trophy that you can see right here. We then, the next weekend, traveled to Opelika High School, where we competed in the Small Mix Division and won first runner-up over a very impressive Mississippi group that we would compete against later in the season. Our next competition took us all the way out to Fort Worth, Texas for a couple days, where we competed in the Lone Star Invitational. And while we did not bring a big trophy home, we did have the best overall performer, Brianna Poling, out of 13 groups, large mix, small mix, middle mix, all the groups. She was the best overall female performer out in Texas, and we represented the state of Alabama very well. We thought our season was over when we traveled to Biloxi, Mississippi in mid-March, and we took home 4th place in Biloxi, but our season was not over. I got the call during the ACT, although my phone was on Do Not Disturb. And we were given the invitation to participate in FAME Nationals, which Prattville High School Spotlight has not been able to participate in since 2008. We have not had the invitation since 2008. So this group, how many of y'all were born in or alive in 2008? Okay, so not many of them, right? So it was a great opportunity. We had a lot of fun. We traveled all the way out to Branson, Missouri. We competed against large mix. So show choir is broken up into various categories. You have large mix groups of 60 plus kids. You have a middle mix group of approximately 30 to 40 kids. And then you have us. We are the small mix group. We competed against all large mix groups out in Branson, Missouri, and took home second runner-up. And not only did we take home second runner-up, but Brianna Poling also won best overall performer at that competition as well. So we thank you so much for your support throughout the season. It's been a lot. We wouldn't have been able to travel to Missouri. We got to the end of the season, we thought our season was over. Our funds were very depleted. Thankfully, your Board of Education, Tallahassee County Board of Education, stepped up and said, we're gonna support you guys. We're gonna pay for your transportation to get out there. Although these kids throughout the season raised a total of about $42,000 to be able to do this season. Annually, show choir costs anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000. And we fundraise throughout the fall, so we're able to go compete in the spring. So thank you guys again for the opportunity to come speak with you and recognize these amazing students. Thank you guys.
Great job, guys. Great job, Dr. Performance. Again, thank you for how hard you work and how passionate you are about it.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, board members, at this time, I would like to ask Ms. Jana White, the Alabama Examiners of Public Accounts, to come forward to present the audit for the 2022-2023 school year. Welcome to Small County.
In accordance with the provisions of Act Number 2006-196, Act of Alabama, Code of Alabama, Section 1613A, 7 through D, commonly referred to as the School Fiscal Accountability Act, I am here on behalf of the State of Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts to present our audit report on the Atahoma
always, and to echo something real quick, I just wanna make sure, you said two very great words, no findings.
No findings.
All right, so Ms. Poe, Ms. Williams, and everybody that works with the financial sector, great job as always. Your people did a great job. You do a great job with the department. So, Ms. White, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda, as noted in our strategic plan, we have goals set forth as it relates to staff retention and personnel turnover. At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Julie Harrington, our Director of Personnel, to come forward and present to the board where we currently stand with regards to job openings across the district.
We're gonna read your package, you had some data just compared to the last 2 years, as far as, people that have left the district. Currently, we have 1,179 total employees. Last year compared to this year, we had about 10 more that retired. Overall, as far as either people that resigned or non-renewed, those were about the exact same numbers, about 51 or 52. For our certified staff, our support staff is about the same, came in at 30 and 34, so those are really similar numbers. As we sit today, 96% of the certified spots are filled for next year, and 95% of the classified spots are filled. We anticipate some transition in the summer, we always have it, but we're in a really good spot, as far as preparing for next year. Part of the strategic plan mentioned, looking at teachers that come to us, new to this profession, and so I threw in a little information about that. This past year, we had 29 teachers that were hired with 0 years of experience. We actually retained 70% of that group. That's a really big struggle. People that get in this profession really don't know what they're stepping into. The first year's really hard, the demands are really great. College doesn't really prepare you for doing this job until you're actually in this job. So that's something that we really wanna keep an eye on and try to get some things to help, these first year teachers. They have a state mentor program. In all honesty, the state funds that, it's about $500, but it's not a great program at the time being. It's just, finding our teachers to look for those teachers and, the requirements from the state. So we kind of thought about trying to get away from that and do our own thing. We hope we can grow, which will help that, retention rate go up. We also mentioned in the strategic plan about increasing district-wide professional learning. This Uniters team did a great job last year with the symposium. That's probably the first time I ever remember us having a district-wide, day. We'll do that again this year. We also, it's not district-wide, but we do specific PD for teams teachers, and that's planned each year, and some things like that. So we're definitely growing that area. As far as what I do throughout the year, trying to hit job fairs and things like that to try to recruit. I typically work off of Handshake, which is a platform that most colleges are, post job fairs and things like that and events. What I found in the last few years, we started off, it was all virtual, and it's terrible. And, so they're going back to more in person. Some of that is weighing the cost of what that costs me to go versus what we get out of that. Sometimes those can be anywhere from $350, $400, $500 to attend. They're not all cost, so we do try to hit the free ones as well. Typically, the schools that will host those are Troy. Alabama State has started back. They were doing virtual. AUM, they typically do 2 a year. This year they did not. Auburn University, and we try to do a really close partnership with our local university for interns, and we do really well with those. So that's kind of where we are. So moving forward, we really want to focus on our people that are first year and don't have a lot of experience doing that retention rate, keep increasing district-wide PD, and then keep attending the job fairs, and see if we can get the most for our people. We don't have to pay attend those events.
Thank you, Ms. Harrington. All right, next item on the agenda, I would like to ask Mr. Neil Nessick, our transportation supervisor, to come forward for a special presentation for several employees within the transportation department.
Good evening. The following individuals have been selected as our 2023-2024 Talk County Schools Bus Drivers of the Year by their fellow drivers and peers in the Transportation Department. First, our Toggable Bus Driver of the Year is Ms. Vernica Smith. Billingsley Bus Driver of the Year is Miss Misty Motley. Our Marbury Pine Level Bus Driver of the Year is Mr. Scott Watson. Our Prattville Bus Driver of the Year is Miss Shelley Wainwright. And our Substitute Bus Driver of the Year is Mechanic Mr. Henry Golson. All right, congratulations to all of you, and thank you for all that you do for the students of Watauga County.
Thank you, Mr. Messer. Thank you, drivers. I'll also remind, while we're talking about previous audits and all, our transportation department came out really good in their past audit as well. So really good things happening, Mr. Messer. We appreciate the leadership of drivers and what you do. You guys are the first person that has interactions with our students and the last person they see. So we appreciate the positive impact you all have. So thank you very much. All right, the last couple items on the on the received information portion. This update will be referencing policy updates. With regards to our attendance policy, policy 5.03, I would like to propose a few changes. First, I would like to add vacation to the list of excused absences. Several schools currently honor vacation as an excused absence, but several others do not, because it is currently not listed as an excused absence. Basically, to explain that, it's kind of at the discretion of the school. So what we're running into during the course of the year, especially now when we're at exemptions, some schools have been honored as excused, some have not, and this is just trying to clarify that policy so that we're a little more uniform. Let's see, under that same policy, there's a portion there talking about tardies. I would like to change the verbiage to allow tardies to start over at the beginning of each semester. Again, that's a conflicting information in terms of what schools are doing. This is part of us trying to streamline everything that we're doing in accordance with policy. The final recommended change to policy 5.03 involves the early warning truancy program. We would like to change the verbiage in the third bullet of that policy. Currently, if a parent fails to appear at their scheduled early warning meeting, the parent receives a legal notice and a court referral. We would like to change the method of notification to use a certified letter. This will ensure that we have proof that the letter was sent. So what's happening in that process, and sometimes it's true, parents may not are not getting the information they need. The certified letter portion would ensure that we have proof that parents received that letter. I also want to give an update on our in-district transfer request. I know this was a very popular topic across the county. And again, we were doing this to be in accordance with some of the changes coming from the governor's office. And I just want to kind of give you where we're at. These numbers will change. There's not, they will change. We're currently going through the applications, but this has not had nearly the impact that I think some people were afraid. It gives our parents the option. And again, this is basically just replacing our hardship process. This is the same process we've always used. It's just now in writing. And again, it's something we can reference back when there's questions. But right now, I'll just run through each school. And again, this may change some, but right now, Taugaville has 16 students that have decided to leave. Billingsley has 4. Daniel Pratt is scheduled to pick up 12. Marbury High School is scheduled to pick up 10. Marbury Middle is scheduled to pick up 4. Pine Level picking up 10. Prattville Elementary losing 10. Prattville High School losing 6. Prattville Intermediate losing 5. Prattville Junior High staying even. And Prattville Kindergarten picking up 10. Now, I can tell you, I've looked at the hardship data that we've been able to access. This is pretty much in line with what has always been through the county. But it's just allowing us to give our families, this is the process that we're going to follow. This is what we're trying to do. And I know there was a lot of concern about this policy, but again, I feel very good where we're at. It has not caused a major, issue with the schools, and quite frankly, it's given our parents choices. So, that's where it stands currently. So, are there any questions related to any of the information that was covered in the, that portion of the meeting? I know it was a lot of information, so.
I would like to, I would just say, continue with, as far as on strategic plan and talking about staff retention, personnel of just, as much as we can, trying to survey when we have teachers or administrators that leave our system willingly, what were their reasons of positives and negatives, of what we're doing a good job and maybe some things we need to improve on.
Yes, sir. And we have implemented a, survey that, we pushed out to anybody that's leaving, and, Ms. Harrington and myself have made a point to try to meet with as many as we can that are voluntarily leaving. So, the survey was implemented as well. So, yes, sir, we're trying to get to the root of the issue. And I think the main thing we can't be afraid of saying publicly too is, I go back to my coaching days, Nick Saban, he wins 5 championships. As soon as the season's over, he's trying to get better. As a system, we should always be trying to get better. And, this process, and I appreciate you asking that, we can't get afraid of the answers we may get when people say, hey, this is why we're leaving. And if there's several people saying the same thing, well, then that's something we need to look at to improve as a district. So that's the goal, and even if we ever get to where there's 100% retention, we're still gonna try to improve. So.
Do we send that to people that are retiring as well? Or do we just assume they're retiring?
That is a good
They're
question. Ms.
eligible
Harrington, does that go to retire?
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that. I'm glad you asked that. I knew we were sending it to the people voluntarily leaving. So retirees, we get the same feedback, Ms. Harrington?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Great job, Ms. Harrington.
Mr. Reportman, it was 6.
Oh.
I'm up here with a bunch of bald people. It was 6.
Good call, good call. Now, we can argue moving forward if NIL changes.
Oh.
That's a discussion another day. Thank you. All right, before my recommendation for approval of the consent agenda, I'd like to give some information on a few items listed in that agenda. Item number 3 is a list of all trips that are scheduled for this month. Item number 4 contains all items that schools need to dispose due to age or broken condition. Item number 5 contains policy changes that were previously brought to the board. These include the following. Policy 5.28 will allow for longer terms of placement in ISS for students. This will allow for us to eliminate the need for a 3-day placement at Second Chance. It also gives flexibility back to the base schools to be able to monitor kids in their work a little better. Policy 5.57 is our out-of-district policy. This allows families from out of our county to enroll in Talk County. However, there's a $1,500 per child fee that families will have to pay. Again, this is another one of those variables that we're trying to meet in accordance to legislation from the state, but we're gonna stand firm on that fee pending approval. It's only fair to our tax-paying citizens of Ottawa County. I don't see this being used a lot by families, and again, the same criteria with discipline and attendance, all the same criteria applies to that as well. So it's gonna be a very high threshold now. The options out there, if people decide to do it pending approval. Policy 6.18 clarifies academic grading requirements for grades kindergarten through 5, and then policy 6.19 clarifies promotion and retention requirements for grades K through 12. Item number 6 contains a supplemental pay request for employees that will be helping at various locations during the summer. Item number 7 contains a quote to purchase a truck for the technology department. We recently added another tech, and this will allow all techs to have a vehicle to serve our schools. The truck will cost $30,225 and will be purchased using technology department funds. Item number 8 contains an adjustment to the licensed social worker salary schedule. We would like to add a 10-month position that we will use instead of the 9-month and the 12-month positions. Item number 9 is seeking approval to pay the attached list of employees that will be helping to transport students during our summer learning programs. Item number 10 is seeking approval for the attached list of teachers to be paid for with helping with summer school. Obviously, we gotta have teachers who run summer school. These are teachers that are doing that. Item number 11 is seeking to add additional GPA weight to the Human Body Structures and Functions course. By adding this course at the weighted value, that will allow second and third year health science students to earn a science credit, and also it will allow us to use this course on the health science pathway, which would count toward completer status in college career indicators. This is a very rigorous course, and the weighted value will reflect the difficulty of the course. Item number 12 is seeking approval to sell 2 buses to Ingram State Technical College. The 2 buses up for sale have been used sparingly during the 23-24 school year, and both are 2006 models. Are there any questions with the consent agenda as presented? All right, I recommend approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Board members, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. May I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
All right, board members, at this time, I recommend approval of the personnel report as presented.
Board members, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. May I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand.
Board members, I'm gonna pause right here for a second, with the passing of personnel. I would like to recognize, a few individuals that, will now be in leadership roles across the district. I'll call your name, if you're here, come on up. First off, I have, Dr. Antoine Marsh. Dr. Marsh? Dr. Marsh is gonna be our new, very excited about this position. Dr. Marsh is gonna be our new, Director of Secondary Education. Dr. Marsh comes with a lot of principal experience, junior high, high school level, comes very highly recommended. He blew us away with his data presentation in the interview. Dr. Marsh, I'm gonna quit talking, and we're glad to have you in Talk County, sir.
Hello. Hey, so I'm humbled and privileged to be selected to be part of Watauga County. I look forward to working with everyone and all the stakeholders to move forward the agenda to make our students the best they are in the state of Alabama and never in the United States. Again, humbled and grateful to God for this opportunity, and I thank the board for approving myself and those who are also selected today. Again, thank you so much.
Welcome aboard. All right, next up, we have Mr. Mitchell Thornton. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say Coach. That's fine. Coach, you can bring your family if you want to. Coach Thornton is our new principal of Daniel Pratt Elementary School. You're going to Daniel Pratt? Hey, you better be good.
Yeah, this is obviously an exciting moment for my family, being from here, from Prattville. This opportunity for the board and Mr. Woodfin. Last 2 years at Prattville High School, I feel like has prepared me for this moment. It's a very busy lifestyle, being the assistant principal role there. And I know that Daniel Pratt is what I've also heard, the mothership of the elementary schools here at Prattville. So I take that with honor. I'm humbled for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to lead this, help serve this community. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. And MJ will be there next year, so we'll see how that goes.
MJ, I'm gonna tell you now, because I was a principal school when my kids went there, and it's a little different when dad's the principal, because if you get in trouble, it's like, it ain't just double, it may be triple or quadruple. But I'm sure you're gonna do great. And finally, I have Mr. Jason Griffith. He's our new principal for Billington School. Mr. Griffith previously served as superintendent of Chilton County Schools, and has had an extensive career, and looking forward to having you, Mr. Griffith.
It says extensive. I'm not sure what that means, but it's an honor to be here. I'm excited. The excitement in this board meeting was impressive. So I'm glad to be here. I appreciate the opportunity for Mr. Whitman to share with that, and the board members as well. And so I look forward to working hard to make Billington the best it can be. So I look forward to doing that. My wife is here, and so she came because I promised her dinner. So
Yes, sir. Welcome aboard. Very excited about all of our hires, and looking forward to watching you guys lead your respective schools, and looking forward to having a 7-12 director to, it's a new position, and that position will be to supervise principals directly and get us moving forward even further than we've been for. So guys, welcome aboard. All right, at this time, I would like to ask Ms. Poe to come forward and present the bank and financial statements for March and April. Ms. Poe, welcome back to Talk County Schools.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, so we're gonna cover 2 months. March, first of all, represents the 6th month of our financial, year. And in your packet, your board packet, you'll see in your snapshot analysis that we should be around 50% being midway through the year at the end of March. As disclosed, the total revenues for the month ending of March were at 61%, or 51 million of the total budget. The district's expenditures were at 48%. So this is the trend I like. I like seeing those revenues, seeing those expenditures. With that said, we are spending on track. We are spending in a timely manner. We are not holding things back. We are doing and meeting the needs of our schools and our staff members and our students and teachers. We have some influx of some local revenues when we're seeing the sales tax peaks and valleys with that. So that explains a little bit of the slight skew of the increase of the revenues. Also, you'll start seeing an uptick in the revenues because now I'm able to draw down a lot of my federal revenues. So you'll start seeing that now with the ESSER funds being able to draw all that down now. The fund balance ended for March at 48.5 million, and the total payroll was at 6.6. In your local revenue analysis, year-to-date collected is $15.1 million, which is 73% of what is budgeted. March's collections were at 1 million. Keep in mind, local revenue is there to meet the required state foundation program, public school funds, and capital bond debt. Of the 19 million budgeted in local revenues, 10.2 is allocated for the aforementioned requirements. That is March. Any questions about March? All right, so I'm going to move on into April. April is the 7th month we just completed. We should be around 58%. As disclosed in your board packet, we were at 69% of our revenues, and that equates to 58 million. The district's expenditures were at around 49.5, which is about 55.32%. Your fund balance at the end of April was at 48 million, and the payroll for the month was at 6.6 million. Local revenues, total collected for the year was at 16 million, which is about 79% of the budget. April's collections were 1.1 million, and we have met our required match. At the end of April, we have now met all of our required state matches. We still do have some bond payments to make, so those are still allocated with that. And that is your financial information for March and April. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Poe. Board members, at this time, I would like to recommend approval of the banking financial statements for March of 2024.
Board members, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. May I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
A second.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to recommend approval of the banking financial statements for April of 2024.
Board members, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. May I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, raise your hand.
All right, ordinance for the superintendent report. First thing I want to recognize is Ms. Laura Fennell is a teacher at Pine Level Elementary. Recently, she was selected as the District 5 Elementary Teacher of the Year. She then was selected as one of the top 16 teachers for the entire state. I had the privilege to go attend that ceremony. She did very well. We're very proud of her. I want to say something on it that she's the first one we've ever had make that far. So that's a huge accomplishment. Tried to talk her out of retirement. She wasn't budging, but we're definitely going to keep on trying. But very, very proud of her at Pine Level Elementary. While we're giving shout outs, I also want to give a shout out to our very own Dr. Tracy Stritchett. She knew you had an idea this was coming, right? Dr. Stritchett was recently recognized as Auburn's College of Education outstanding alumni. So Dr. Stritchett, congratulations.
Thank you.
I also wanted to, I know we had a board meeting last week, but I also want to kind of update you on some things with the football stadium and kind of hit some of those items that we talked about last week as well. Obviously, we entered into the agreement with Wetumpka. The Prattville High School football team will play at Wetumpka for this year. One thing I want to echo again publicly one more time is, that contract, we negotiated for a while, and, they've allowed us to, be able to basically do it on a game-by-game basis, so if construction ends early, we'll be able to opt out of that and move to Stanley Jensen. But the other side of that I want to explain a little more in depth, the other questions that came up were, what about the junior high, what about the JV, what about freshmen, what about flag football? Part of what you guys approved at the last board meeting with the turf facility at Marbury High School, the principals of Prattville Junior High, Prattville High School, Marbury Middle, Marbury High School, they're all discussing now how to schedule as many games on that field as possible to allow the students and the bands and everybody to have an opportunity to have home games. So I feel good with that. Again, as far as Marbury, and I'll get to it in a second, but, you know, the contractor knows you have a deadline. You know, part of the bid process was he's adamant he'll meet the deadline. So to answer the public's questions, our plan is, for all the teams that are playing, home games, if we get the field at Marbury Turf, there will be a venue there. And again, some of the rationale there is, if we don't provide a home, place to play anyway, then we're gonna have to write a check to offset the funds. So now this allows us to, instead of writing a check to, the school account, well, this is a better use of our funds. Let's invest in our facilities, let's invest in getting some things that we need as a district, so if these things happen in the future, I don't know, something happened at Billingsley or at Tulgeville, we have something built in where we have options. So, just wanted to say that again, because I know several people have contacted you guys about the backup plans. As far as projects, you know, last board meeting, you guys approved, me entering into, agreements with architects. I want to hit some of those briefly. Obviously, the Marbury Turf project, construction is scheduled to begin the day after Marbury's graduation. That's May the 21st. So I would not be surprised to see equipment on the field the Wednesday after graduation, the very next day. I think it will definitely be moving by the end of that week. Tulgeville's gym. I'm very excited about this project. The architect is finalizing plans, and we're very close to beginning the bid process. Once bids are received, obviously I'll bring the project back for you guys to analyze the costs and see if that's something we want to do. But if you've been in Tulsa County for a long time, or a short amount of time, if you've went to one game at a Tulgeville, the gym is packed out, and it's something that's been needed for a long time. So if we can get all the dollars and cents right, you know, we're gonna try to make that happen. I will be meeting with an architect on renovating restrooms across the district this Friday. We hope to begin this project sometime in June. Again, the bid process is several weeks away, but we will be going to, off the top of my head, I'll try to remember, it's mainly the schools in town, because the buildings in town in Prattville are much older than the buildings outside the city of Prattville. I know Prattville Primary, Prattville Intermediate, Prattville Elementary, Prattville Junior High, Prattville High School, I want to say Marbury Middle's on there as well. Basically, if the facilities are older, we're going to look at renovating as many restrooms as possible, because, well, it's needed. It's definitely needed. Let's see, I have been meeting with the architect to decide on the building location for the outdoor learning lab at Billingsley School. As you remember, this is a grant that was awarded through the hard work of our state legislature members. We've been going back and forth on a location. We feel like we've settled on a location, so that project is beginning to move forward. Feel good about that. The bid process is still several weeks away, but we're making progress on that project. We have an architect that's currently drawing plans for renovating the field house at Prattville High School. Again, very early in this process, and I hope to have you guys some bids here by the end of June. Again, I want to reiterate this, because we know Ms. Pose did a great job explaining where we're at financially. Everything's going well, but obviously, you know, we've been going around the communities and highlighting our financial situation, and every project that we're talking about doing is not coming out of local funds. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that have come up already. Everything we're funding, all these projects that we're looking at funding are coming from one-time allocated state money or federal money that you have to use for these types of projects. So I have a master list in my office, and this is not all of it, We're trying to knock off as many projects as we possibly can. We've been working hard to improve our technology infrastructure. You've approved several of those projects moving forward. We're getting ready to start those. We're getting ready to replace a lot of roofs across the district with some additional funding that we came across. So there's about to be a lot of progress, hopefully in a very short amount of time, but we're not writing checks out of the general fund, and that's the main thing I need the public to understand. We're not using the general fund. We're trying to be as smart with the money that we have that's coming from the state, state and federal levels to maximize that money. Last update on my list, our Marbury High softball team will be playing in the state tournament tomorrow. So, we wish the coaches and the kids, good luck. And, I believe that's our last sport team that's still playing, and, hopefully we'll end on a high note. So, that's all the information I have, with my report. Or any questions as it pertains to the report? I'm gonna do my very best to do that. I am learning the hard way very quickly that, the plans that you may have can go south, or you may, just so you know, my daughter plays on the team as well, so I'm gonna try my very best to be there, but I've learned not to say I'm not gonna be somewhere, but I'll try. So, all right. Any other questions?
All right, board members, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. May I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second?
We're adjourning, right?
Any-
So we're adjourning, right? She's wanting to know what she's.
This is, superintendent's recommendation.
Mr. Holland, that's on me. I forgot to tell y'all that part of the script, so that is on me. We're moving forward with the, adjournment. Yeah.
I'm just reading the script. All right. Adjournment. There being no further business, may I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A second.
I second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
I read that thing 9 times.
I just want to.